Hey, it's the summertime. Do you know what that means? Shark movies. Oh, I like me some shark movies. Do you like you some shark movies? Oh, yeah. Sharks. I dig me some shark movies. But even more than just shark movies, I dig me some good shark movies. So today on Quality Check, we're going to talk about The Shallows. Oh, yes. So, this movie has had a bit of a reputation before I got to see it. And that reputation is that some people are claiming it's the next Jaws. Now, I don't know if I would go that far. But I will let in a giant spoiler here at the very beginning. It's good. It's really, really good. Wow. Did I just blow your mind? Because I'm not blowing anything else. You gotta pay me for that. Gotta pay me a lot. That's not even on the Patreon list of things. You gotta you gotta really pay for that. You know I got a Patreon, right? It's down there, so I'm gonna put in the thing. Put in the thing. Anyways, enough about me. Let's talk about the movie. So, The Shallows. Much better film than the last film I had to sit through. Um, it is a survival movie, really. Calling it a horror film is a little unfair because the movie's really not a horror film. Now, I won't say the movie's not scary. Of course, the movie's scary. It's a movie about a girl who is alone with a vicious shark. Now, a lot of animal rights activists and such have criticized the film, but they also criticize things like Jaws. So, we will comment on that too. I will say this right away. The depictions of the shark in the film are only somewhat realistic. They are somewhat fictionalized as well. Because in real life, sharks do not hunt people down like they have a vendetta against them. Like they're fucking serial killer, slasher, movie killer out to get you. But this is a movie. And if we can have movies about sharknadoes and shark octopus creatures and, God help me, dick sharks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Oh yeah. Thanks, John. Thanks, John Squires, for letting me know that exists. So if we can have all of those things in film, there's room for a movie in which a shark behaves almost like Michael Myers. Okay? Alright. Let's just accept that it's fictional. Okay? You could act offended about Halloween too, because it's a mental patient who goes on a killing spree. I'm sure that would offend some people who've got family and friends in mental institutes. But at no time does that say that all mental patients go on killing sprees. Just like this film does not say that all sharks would hunt you down and do this shit. No. People who have brains and rational minds should know that this is not how a real shark would behave. To a point. To a point. There are some realistic behaviors in the film, but we'll get to that. Alright. Now, I will give you a plot breakdown here. Our main character, played by Blake Lively, who's great in this film. Like, right away, Blake Lively's character she's very likable. She's very endearing to the audience. And I have nothing but complimentary things to say about her acting in the film. She's great. I'm glad she's our main actress, our main character, our central character, and pretty much almost our only character, because this is not a big film of characters. Essentially, through the film, you really only have two characters that you focus on. My nose is being terrible, so I apologize. All right, so you have Blake Lively. Um, I can't tell if her mother's recently died or if she died a while back in the past. That's never really made clear, but the fact is that her mother died of cancer, and this is something that she's still coping with. It's clear that she was in medical school. She's looking possibly to drop out because she's questioning things. She's having some crises, if you will, inside, and she's left home and she's going on a journey to the place where her mother went to before she had her, or when she was pregnant with her. I don't like. I think she was pregnant or she got pregnant with her around the same time. I don't know. I forget a lot of the details of that. It's not because it's a bad movie or a bad plot. I want to hammer that home. It's because I was messed up on drugs all day. Yeah, allergy medicine, super fun. Probably should have some right now so my nose wouldn't feel like it's going to leak when it isn't leaking. Did you hate that? When it feels like it's leaking, but it's not. So it makes you paranoid that you're going to have like a big snot booger leak out of your brain. So you just compulsively snort. You're So she goes to this secluded beach that her mother went to in Mexico. She meets this really nice guy, Carlos, who gives her the ride there. And at no point does he come off as creepy. He's charming too. He's not really a main character in the film because, as I said, there's really only two real characters that you kind of center on in the film. But he's important enough to the central plot. Yeah, he looks like he's older than me, maybe in his early 40s. Um, he seems nice enough. Now, I should point out before we even get introduced to Blake Lively, the movie actually starts with a small child who finds a GoPro camera on the beach, and the GoPro camera has video of a guy getting eaten by a shark. First person perspective. All fun. And then we go into the Blake Lively plot, and she goes to the beach. She meets some other surfers there. They surf. Clearly, they're more local guys. This is in Mexico, I should point out. Does all that. She has I believe it's a Skype call with her father or with her sister, and her father kind of takes over it, and she gets depressed because they start talking about things like with her mother, her possibly dropping out of school, and she decides she's going to go back out and surf one more wave while the guys are leaving. This is where things are going to take a dark turn, because up until this point, everything has been fun and nice. There's some great scenes of surfing. I'm pretty sure that was Blake Lively actually surfing. Um, if so, very impressed with her. If not, good stunt work for whoever her stand-in was. Yeah, it's good surf scenes. Like, could easily have just like been a surf movie. It's still a good character anyways. I don't usually watch surf movies, but it's fine. I like the character well enough. I can root for her. That's a good thing. You want a character you can root for, I gotta adjust this light because I'm coming in really dark face right now. All right, that's better. Ugh. Ugh. Reflected screen. No. So, I should point out that one of the surfer guys that she sees has a GoPro attached to a helmet that he's wearing. I wonder if that's a spoiler. Little hint at what might happen. Anyways. She goes out there alone, depressed. She doesn't have her friend with her because she came with the friend, but her friend got hammered the night before and fucked some other guy, looks like, and made herself completely unavailable. Don't you love friends like that? Super fun. Oh, I need a haircut. I'm sorry. Like, it's not going in the right way of anything. Like, it's gotten too shaggy. Ugh, I feel atrocious. Ugh, so humid lately. Ah, I feel like I'm down the Mexican beaches. Ugh, with the fucking sharks. But yes, she goes out there. There's a dead whale out there. It's very easy to see. Big dead whale. Lots of seagulls pecking away at it. Crabs crawling on it. And a shark is gnawing on it. Now, that's realistic behavior. Blood in the water, the shark's going to come, it's going to eat. There's food. Here's where it gets a little unrealistic. When you start pointing out things like the shark has plenty of food. That shark, now, I will say, if you splash around in the water in a feeding area, the sharks are curious. They're curious animals. It's going to come check shit out. But the unrealistic behavior is the other stuff. It would check things out, but it would still go back to the whale because the whale it's food. There's food. There's food already there. Like, it's not all rotted. It's still plenty of good workable food. That shark would still eat that. Yeah. Um, she gets hurt by the shark. The shark bites her. She's got a big gash on her leg, just a huge, just big bite on her fucking leg. It didn't take a plug out of her. It just bit the shit out of her. She also hurts herself on some coral, so she's got like small little cut on her leg, so she's nice and painful. And there was like a plot point where the surfers say that they tell her what things she should be looking out for. They say that there's some rainbow coral, I believe, that stings like jellyfish. So that's not good. So that's a plot point. It's like a little minor detail, but it works its way into the plot. So, um, God, I'm getting all distracted. I swear I don't have ADD, but I'm like, I got a piece of skin here. I'm just all kinds of gross. I'm all snotty. I got pieces of skin coming off me. My hair's doing a weird thing. I'm disgusted. Why do you even watch me? Anyways, she's injured, and then she ends up swimming to this rock to get away from the shark. She's not alone out there. There's a bird, a seagull, that is also injured. And that is the other character that I mentioned, the seagull. The seagull is with her throughout pretty much the entire film. It has a dislocated wing, so it can't fly away. It's stuck with her. They're both stuck in this together, trying to survive. And you know what? I gotta say, the seagull's great. It's a great character. Like, it seems to have personality. I don't know who they had as far as an animal trainer on the set, but they did a good job with this bird. This bird was just like, it felt like it was really like worried about the girl and everything. Is like watching her back and shit, pointing to stuff. Like, it would try to wake her up when something was happening. Yeah, lots of great things. She notices the surfer guys over there. She tries to get their attention. They, of course, don't hear her. They don't see her out there. So she's stuck out there. She's got to do something about her bleeding leg. So she takes her earrings, and this is probably the one of the parts that hurts the worst. She takes her earrings off, and she uses them to suture her wound. Oh, now that was hard to watch. I've seen some gore, very believable gore over the years. This scene was way harder to watch. Just something about like when she like put it in, you see the blood just like pump out, and it just very well done. Very, I hesitate to say believable, but it looks believable to me. But I'm not an expert on things like real wounds. Like I'm no doctor or anything. I'm no medical expert, but it looked believable enough. All right, it looked like a real bleeding shark wound. So you have that, and she's in horrible pain. Um, she ties. She's got the um, the little bracelet thing, the little Velcro bracelet thing you put around your leg when you surf. She's got that tied around her leg like a tourniquet to try and stop the blood flow a little. And she ties her wetsuit. She only has like a wetsuit top. She doesn't have like a full wetsuit. She ties that around her leg. But then when night falls, she's getting really cold. So she ends up ripping off one of the sleeves. She gets one of the sleeves and just completely takes it off. And then she uses that to go around her wound, like, you know, like a bandage, like a compress bandage. Um, that's a good idea. That's actually one of the better ideas she has in the film. Now, the way she handles things is very believable. When you're struggling for your life, she doesn't do anything particularly dumb. Like, she does very believable things. She tries to figure out her chances of doing certain things. She knows she can't swim back to the beach because the shark's too fast. Um, she measures the distance between where the shark's swimming from the rock to the whale. It takes about 32 seconds, which means she'd have like 32 seconds to do whatever in the water before the shark can get at her again. There's a buoy, which you've all seen in the previews, I'm sure, if you've seen the preview. I kind of hate the preview. The preview is almost a complete giveaway for a lot of the plot points. Anyways, yeah, I'd avoid the preview if you haven't seen it. Just watch the movie. Go in blind. Um, well, if you're watching this, you're not going in blind, so I suppose that's a moot point. There's a drunk on the beach who she tries to get the attention of. All this does is him wave at her drunkenly, and then he staggers over to her bag, and she thinks that he's going to get her phone to call for help. He just sticks her phone in his pocket and takes her money. And then, after he's already been a shitty person, he does the stupidest thing possible while she's yelling, "Shark, shark, there's a shark in the water." He goes out for her surfboard that he notices in the water. Because I guess, hey, I could go sell that. What a moron. So, this is one of the best parts of the movie, in my opinion. You don't see you don't see anything happen to him. You see her face. It like focuses entirely on Blake Lively's face, and you hear the sounds of him being attacked. And her face contorts in very, very like repulsed ways, and you can imagine, like your imagination is doing more work than they could ever do. And then when you finally see him, he's back on the beach, but he's in half. Like his lower half got torn from his body, and his like upper half is trying to crawl away. Wow. Ooh. Not the goriest like being put in half scene, but wow, that was a nice little effect. Um, Actually, the goriest part of the film, in all honesty. Um, I don't really know what happens to him. Maybe the water washes him back out to sea because you don't see his body at any point after that. Maybe I'm just going to assume the water washed him back out into the water. You know, like the tide came in and just pulled him back, and then he got ate by the shark. Guess he couldn't get away after all, huh? Either that or his upper half did crawl into the woods and then just died. Then his lower half just got pulled out. Oh, it's not important. We're here for Blake Lively and her little seagull pal. I'm a TMNT fan. We'll call him Pigeon Pete. Blake Lively and Pigeon Pete. Um, she fixes the seagull's wing. She like puts it back in the socket, and they're still chilling together. She gets a piece of her surfboard because her surfboard ends up getting, completely ripped apart. The surfers come back, and she tries to warn them about the shark, but they don't believe that there's a shark out there as they're swimming towards her. Um, she's still freaking out, so I guess one of the surfers, the guy with the longer hair, not the one with the GoPro, the one with the longer hair, starts to swim back. I guess he's going to get for like help or something. Doesn't really say because and then you just see the shark just come right up and just grabs him and just, and it's like, wow, it's pretty intense looking. It's well done. Um, the guy with the GoPro is thoroughly freaking out now, so he's really trying to get to her. Um, you think he's dead, and then he comes out of the water again, and she's trying to pull him up into the rock, and then he gets pulled under. And that's when the part from the GoPro camera scene at the beginning of the movie happens, where he gets eaten by the shark. Time marches on some more. She's now even more resigned. The GoPro camera is floating around on the little helmet, so she decides she's going to try to get that with the whole timed shark thing that I mentioned before. She keeps trying to swim to it. Lots of hair-raising tenseness with the shark coming at her. She gets it. She records a video describing her situation, how long she's been out there, what happened to her, everything that has happened. And then she records a video message for her family in case she doesn't make it out of this alive. These are understandable things. Like I said, no point does she do anything in this movie that you don't believe. These are all very believable actions. She even understands that she was dumb to cross over into the feeding ground of a shark. Yeah, like, it's not like she's even blaming the shark. Now, the shark, throughout the film, though, I brought this up before, he behaves like he's a slasher movie villain. He is literally, like, pursuing her like his hugest dickhead ever. Like, he's Dick. Well, if there wasn't already a movie called Dick Shark, he could have been Dick Shark. Dick Shark! Yeah, he's just unreasonable. Unreasonable. She records a video, she sends it back out. She decides to try making it to the buoy. So first, she takes the piece of broken surfboard. She puts her little bird friend, Pigeon Pete, who's a seagull, not a pigeon, but I will call him Pigeon Pete anyways. She puts him on a little surfboard and just sets him out on the water and sets him adrift so he can get back to land. So you're just like, I hope he don't get ate. They keep showing him, like when he's floating away, they keep showing him, and I'm afraid it's gonna be like, ah! That was, no, Pigeon Pete don't get eaten now. But anyway, she swims for the buoy, and she realizes that she's got a chance because there's something there to keep the shark away. Oh, jeez, jellyfish. Because when she was trying to get the GoPro, I can't talk today. She was trying to get the GoPro. That coral, the shark ran into the coral, and it reacted very badly to the coral because it didn't like it. Like I said, it stung like jellyfish. And she thought about that. She saw all the jellyfish. She's like, I could swim through the jellyfish, and I could get away from the shark to the buoy. So she does that. The shark tries to get her. It gets stung. So it gets pissed off. She gets stung, but she handles it a little better. But she still makes it to the buoy. And this is where, the remaining struggle between her and the shark happens on the buoy. On the buoy, she's basically hanging out on the buoy. She's still trying to survive, obviously. She finds a flare gun inside there, and there's a boat in the distance past this island that she says earlier in the film looks like a pregnant woman. I guess because her mother was pregnant or whatever when she was there. I don't know. There's things with her mom. Lots of things with her mom there. Lots of references. Um, she tries to get the boat's attention in the distance, but it doesn't work. She still has one flare shot left. Or no, a couple of flare shots, I think, left. She uses them against the shark, and the shark doesn't like it. Obviously, it hurts. The shark tears one of the chains loose from the buoy, so the buoy is like really going crazy. That's one of the parts they actually showed in the preview, in the trailer. Uh, it ends up flipping completely on its side. She kind of crawls inside the buoy, like cage type area thing. Kind of like using it as a shark cage. It's not stopping this fucking shark. This shark's just munching away on the thing. She ends up seeing that there's some jagged metal sticking out of the ground. I think it's metal. It looks like metal to me. I think that's a piece of the buoy actually down on the ground. It's like sticking up like spikes. And the chain to the buoy is like connected on a thing, so if it tears loose, it pulls in, because that's how buoys do. The chain's like, so she ends up getting the chain loose. Shark's coming after her. She's letting the chain pull her, like she's using her what's left of her suit, her wetsuit top, to let herself get pulled towards the spikes, and then she moves at the last minute, and the shark goes, phew, right on the spikes, and it's dead, super dead. Um, of all the parts of the film, the death scene is the only really fake-looking part with the shark. That might be my only criticism, but at the same time, fuck that shark. Like, I was all aboard for that to get killed at that point. That shark was a dickhead. I love sharks. That shark was a piece of shit. I'm glad he died. I'm glad he died like that, too. Brutal. Like, just spikes going all through him. Like, he went to, like, mouth first, right on the spikes. Just, like, right through him. He's like, insta death. It's like, fatality. Um, Now the kid had find the camera back on the beach, and he ran to get somebody. Turns out that kid, remember the guy that gave her the ride to the beach, Carlos? That's his kid. Carlos comes. They find dead body on the beach. It might have been the guy that got bit in half. I couldn't remember. If that's some dead body on the beach, it's probably the dead drunk. Or one of the surfers. I'm pretty sure it probably was dead drunk though, because he had clothes on. I don't remember the surfers were having like shirts on. But they find her. She lives. They save her. It shows her at the end like an epilogue thing. She's with her family, her sister, her father. They're all together in Texas, where she's from. They're all at the beach going surfing. She's got a big gnarly scar there. She didn't lose her leg, even though she was afraid she was going to get gangrene and stuff. She saved her leg. She's got this just cool, like gnarly fucking like crescent moon type scar going, and she's still surfing. This film, oh, and she's a doctor now too. She actually finished medical school and everything, so it's all cool. Everything had a good ending, and I really like this film. It's a very tense film, a very scary film, and I really highly recommend it. Um, as I said, the portrayal of the shark as being like this stalkerish dickhead of Michael Myers proportions. Like he's stalking a babysitter in the ocean and he's gonna kill him. Gonna kill him. Yeah, that's not realistic. People who are getting pissed off because sharks aren't really bad, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, I understand, but the shark's not behaving in a realistic manner anyways, so taking this movie seriously about the way it portrays sharks is kind of stupid, honestly. Yeah, it really is. It's a movie. It's like getting offended because Peter Pan portrays pirates as silly. Because pirates weren't silly. Um, Yeah. You gotta understand, like, it's a movie. It's gonna take liberties. Any story takes liberties with things. It's not based on any kind of source material or anything. It's in a completely original story. It just happens to have this one shark. Like, there's bad humans. Who says there can't be bad sharks? All right, we got Bruce from Jaws, and we got this dickhead right here. We got Dick Shark here. Much different, not to be confused with the oncoming Dick Shark. Oh boy. But yeah, we got those. Yeah, bad sharks. It happens. You got the deep blue sea shark. Of course, that one's bad because they fucked around with his head. Final verdict. Great movie. Um, it's probably going to be leaving theaters soon, so I would recommend going and watching it as soon as possible if you haven't already. I know it's at least playing for the rest of this week, so go see it. Yeah, that's my verdict. I'm sure you were all dying to know my verdict on the film. Wow. All right. So go watch it. Yeah. Shark movies. Awesome. Be back next time with a review that's sure to be controversial.